Yo, what's up, what's up? Yes, what's next is complicated, complicated score.
Yo, what up, Discord Nation? Welcome back. As always, your boy Dex, joined here by
Jacoby Jones.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Complicated Discord. You know what? Let's start off with the drinks. What you drinking today?
Today, I kept it light, and I have an Earl Grey tea with a lemongrass tea with a shot of brandy.
What, a shot of what?
Brandy.
Okay, I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, had to make a couple of changes. We were supposed to record yesterday, so I tried something new. I was gonna make a drink called the Porn Star, right? And as I tried it, I realized it wasn't shit. So I kicked it up a notch. I added a bunch of stuff to it. I improved, I experimented. And what I got left it was something new. So I decided to call that the Gangbang.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What's in it?
What is in it? It was vodka, rum, raspberry puckers, and blueberry. I'm sorry, blue carousel. And Sprite. Yeah, I called it the Gangbang.
That's not that bad. I was expecting a little more alcohol though. The Gangbang sounds like 7, 8, 9, 10 different liquors.
It was a lot of vodka.
Okay.
And rum.
Okay. So it's a bunch of white men lined up. That's what it sounds like. Okay, I'm here for it. For it.
I went to make the Gangbang today, but I didn't have Sprite. So I decided to start over. I was going to make a rum punch, but didn't have any dark rum. Instead, I decided to kick it up a notch. Instead, I made something new. I call it the rum uppercut. It has 5 different kinds of rum in it.
Okay.
Cherry rum, pineapple rum, coconut rum, dragonberry rum, and regular aged rum.
See, that should be the Gangbang.
Well, it's called the uppercut because after 1 or 2 of those, you are going to be on your back, much like the Gangbang. But you wouldn't have done nothing about that now, would you, Jacoby?
I would not, sadly. You know what, though? Because, when I think uppercut, I think boxing. Maybe you should call it, like, the fister. Because that's kind of sexual. You know what I mean? The fister. The punching bag, something like that.
I'm absolutely done with you, Jacoby. That's today's show.
I'm just saying.
Folks.
I'm just.
That's today's show. Thank you for joining us. Well,
I'm just saying.
Well, let's jump right into it. We'll start off as always with the Audacity.
Hiding her face.
Hello? Can I help you? I know you hear me.
Yeah, bitch. Tell fucking Alonso to come fucking outside. He fucking tells me that he does not see me right.
Huh?
Yeah, you heard me?
I think you have the wrong house. Who are you looking for?
Ghetto.
Who are you looking for?
Look at her dump out, huh?
Lydia?
What?
No.
Then I got the wrong permit.
Sweatpants and all. Oh my God.
The thing was, she came there with so much ferocity.
Well, I mean, when you ready to go, you ready to go. When you got that hood rat in you like that, it's just you will show up knocking. I mean, I have not been that person, but I've been that person. But anyway.
But can you imagine being so blinded by fury, you don't even check to make sure you got the right address?
But you know what I think though? I think because I've had this happen to somebody before in a different, not for fighting, but for other things. I bet you whoever the person was she was arguing with was like, all right, bitch, meet me at this address, da, 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 and gave her the wrong address so she could look stupid. And it works. And it worked.
And you know what the worst part about that was? Because I've been in not that situation, but a situation to where you were so mad, you ready to go, and then you find out you're wrong. So now you got to turn around. You have no place to put this anger. It's just what am I like? She bowed her head in sadness when she walked away because she was ready to just beat somebody's ass. Like I've been there where I've just been so mad. Like at this point, now that I'm wrong, I can't back down. I've already talked the big game. I've already made myself out to be, king shit. So now to turn around and walk away like an asshole. Now you feel stupid, and now you still mad.
Yeah, she was probably drunk too, maybe. Well, she didn't appear intoxicated, but I know my drunk ass has done some shit like that before. And then one of my friends just slapped me like, motherfucker, you're not finna do nothing right now. And I'm just like, you're right. I'm just drunk. You know what I mean? Like, so.
You know what that reminds me? It's kind of like when you walk in and say, bitch, you did it. And they're like, no, I didn't. I wasn't even there. And you're saying like, wait, so you didn't? Now you so mad that you can't back down. You have to keep that level of madness here. So now you just got to leave upset. You just got to, whatever, bitch. You know what? Well, you ate my last cupcake and then slam the door and walk away. Well, I mean, apologize. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's different. Some people are big enough to, calm down, apologize, and, move forward. Like she did. She calmed down. Oh, I do have the wrong house. And she calmly walked her stupid looking ass back to her car.
She sadly walked. Like she looked, she looked like you just ate her last damn Cheerio. Like she looked so sad and depressed and downtrodden.
That she did.
But hey, that is life.
Yes, it is.
But you know what? Let's go ahead and move on. We're gonna jump into Around the Net. Jacoby, have you heard about that story about Mr. Corey Pujols?
Okay, so I think I know what you're talking about. But the guy who hit an old man and he died.
Yes.
Right.
But to give a little bit of information to those that are watching and listening, Corey Pujols is a 26-year-old Tampa resident. And what happened was he was at his job at a Dunkin' Donut working when apparently a regular decided to come in who was pretty upset and started throwing racial slurs at him. In fact, you know what? I got the video and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play for you right now. Maybe you can explain it a little better than I could.
I remember, from what I know, the old man came in. I think it was a fast food place. He came through the drive-thru, said some shit, something popped off, went inside, or the dude came outside because I didn't watch the video.
I'm going to play the video for y'all so y'all can get a little more context on it.
Okay.
In the drive-thru of this Dunkin' on South 50th Street. Tampa police say a 77-year-old customer was upset over the lack of service he was receiving.
The victim parks the car, goes inside, and has an argument with the employee. Well, at that time, there was a racial slur that was thrown out at the employee, and the employee told the victim to say it one more time.
That employee was 27-year-old Corey Pujols. According to arrest paperwork, when the elderly man repeated the same racial slur, Pujols punched him once in the face.
The suspect ended up punching the victim so hard that he fell back, hit his head on the ground. And so when we arrived, he was unconscious and bleeding from the head to where he had to be taken to the hospital.
Court documents say
that is what happened. Now,
yeah, see, okay, what are you going to say?
But before we get into this, let me just make three things really, really clear. Number one, that female cop was hot. Listen,
if she was a cop, she should. All it said was the police department. She could have just been a representative. She could have been a lawyer. She could have been a rookie.
Whoever she was,
a detective.
Whoever she was, they picked the right face. Two,
she was beautiful.
Two, let me warn those that are other than African American that are listening to and watching this show. If you ever get into a confrontation with someone and they say one of two phrases, if they say, "You got the right one today," you absolutely do not have that right one today. You should turn around and walk the hell away because I promise you do not want what they have to offer. And secondly, if they say that again.
True. Very true.
Just
Very
don't.
True. I know, because when I heard that part, I was just like, okay, so he has proof in a sense that this man provoked him. Like he literally was saying it to piss him off because he is a racist bigot 9 times out of 9. But, I'm so torn because that guy, like, I feel like you don't get to try people and assume that the lash out or the backlash won't be worse. So the fact that he knew, he said it with intent to make him feel anger or hurt because he was mad at him. So I hope he can use that in court to his advantage to kind of get off of this shit, because I really see it as this one less bigot in the world right now. And kudos to you. He was probably somebody's daddy and some shit, but still.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jacoby. It is the whole story is kind of messed up. It's sad on both sides. You understand? At the end of the day, this old man felt like it was okay to say that to somebody. Even after you knew the other person was aggravated, you decided to repeat it.
Right.
Because I feel like after that first time, he could have gotten away with it. The guy would be like, you know what, just get out of my face before I smack you.
Well, the thing is, no one should be able to get away with it.
No one should have been able to.
Especially with the fact that he said it with what was his intention behind it, right? He could have called him a jackass. He could have called him anything, but he chose that racial slur. So he was trying to piss him off, and he just don't get to dictate. You can't, you got to, now you dead. Look at you in a casket. Look at
you. You know what? I even said it on one show. You can't sit down and act like someone is being crazy when they're acting very rationally to some messed up shit that you did. When he reacted to disrespect. Now, granted, I don't feel like anyone should die, and I don't feel like anyone should take something from a verbal altercation to a physical one. But I do kind of feel like if you know the kind of response that usually gets, the fact that you kept saying it.
I do too. I feel you. He was definitely someone's father. Probably if he had children, he was at least someone's son. And I get it. But to be honest, for me, I just see it as this one less bigot in the world now, and he was probably elderly, as they said. He was 70s or something like that. And it's a shame. It's fucked up. And I really hope he do not get the book thrown at him, because he's kind of my hero.
You know what? And here's the thing. I need people to understand. Yes, this gentleman was 78 years old, but that's exactly the point. He was 77 or 78. He wasn't a child. He knew what he was doing. He knew the implications of the word he was using, and still, with all of that, still chose to use it.
Mm-hmm. And look at him in the ground, dead.
And the thing is, this gentleman, Mr. Pujols, when he was arrested under charges of battery. And because the gentleman died, now he was charged with aggravated manslaughter.
I really want to promote right now. I want to take the time to say, if anybody's listening, African-American people, go out and find whatever association is trying to help this young man, and everybody donate $1 to the cause, because he is my hero. And I think that the way white people rally together to help their white racist friends, we need to everybody send $1 to save this brother, because he is my fucking hero. Well,
a good thing you said that, Jacoby, because there are 2 GoFundMe accounts set up right now to help pay legal fees. Granted, I will tell you, please be careful, because I don't know who set the accounts up. So, do a little bit of research into it. But I do know that there are 2 accounts set up for Mr. Corey Pujols for his legal fees. He could face up to 30 years in prison over his reaction. We can't let
that happen, y'all.
Over his reaction for somebody being disrespectful and blatantly racist. And that's kind of messed up. And of course, someone is going to come out and say, oh, he wasn't racist, he wasn't this. But you know what? If you can look someone in the face and use a word that you know is harmful and derogatory towards them without any regards of how they feel, then you exactly are what people say you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it.
He is my hero.
And
Sometimes a hero comes
one
along.
one last thing I'm going to say on that is, just like Jacoby just said a few minutes ago, you don't know someone's mental state at any given time. So before you go and you say something to somebody, you need to just think about how you would react had you been in that situation. He might have already been having a bad day. His manager might have just said, "Yo, you're fired." So he'd be like, "You know what? Fuck it, I'm having a bad day." You don't act up. Just like, I mean, you just called somebody out of their name, just because your service was slow.
Right.
But you know what? Speaking of someone acting out of anger, I got a video that's going to lighten the mood just a little bit. And I want you to let me know what you would do had you been in this situation here, Jacoby.
Okay.
Fuck is that, man? Fuck up. What's wrong with you?
Get out of here, boy.
What's wrong with you? Don't touch me.
Go. Go. Look. God, get out of here. Got that boy, man.
A mess.
Poppy wanted all of that smoke.
Wow.
So what just happened? Apparently, again, we don't have full context, but the gentleman behind the counter and the customer got into it. The customer punched the glass and cursed the guy out. The guy was like, "Okay, I got something for you." He came out from behind that desk with a wine bottle and just proceeded to beat the shit out of the other dude with it. Two hits to the head. The sound it made the first time was almost cartoon-esque.
No. Oh my God. But I see it's the same shit. You're right. It's the same shit of like, you don't get to dictate how somebody responds, for one, or their mental health that day, for two. And the mental health thing goes on both parties, right? Like even with the racist dude and the black guy, and even with these two dudes, like clearly the old man was tripping out and he was having a mental health moment as well. And this dude at the register was having a mental health moment. You know what I mean? But you don't get to, it doesn't give you a pass to behave badly. You know what I mean? And you don't get to dictate the smoke that's coming for you after you lash out and act a goddamn fool.
I want to add, there were about 3 people in the store, and when that ass whooping started, all 3 of them decided to not help, but pull a phone out and document it for us to watch and laugh at.
I mean, because clearly he had it coming. Clearly, you know what I mean? You don't get to...
Clearly, they are the real heroes.
Right.
They are not all heroes wear capes. They are the real heroes.
Heroes wear capes.
They did what they were supposed to do, and I applaud it.
Me too. Me too. You know, and the funny thing is, you can tell that he was tripping. That he was tripping because he didn't come back. Like when that door closed and he like dropped those. He if you notice, he lost the goods that he purchased. That last swing, he had those 2 little liquor bags in his hand and he dropped whatever he bought. But he left because he didn't know that smoke that was coming. And he saw that I done fucked up. Let me get out of here.
Exactly my point. Once he got the smoke he was asking for, he forgot everything. He forgot he came to buy some Hennessy and condoms for whatever he had waiting. He probably forgot where he lived. He forgot.
That was a bag full of EBT. You can give him snacks. You can tell.
Hey, Jacoby, speaking of that, you mentioned mental health moments. What do you do when you need a mental health break?
What do I do when I need a mental health break? That's a great question. You know what I do, what I've been doing lately, which really, really helps, is seriously meditating. Like, I'm a Gemini, I'm an air sign, right? So I like the wind or fans, and I just sit down Indian style, stretch out a little bit, loosen myself up, and just sit up straight and like seriously just close my eyes and sit there and properly breathe for like anywhere from 5 to sometimes 15 minutes. And I just send out my vibrations of thankfulness to the universe and ask for the things that I want to receive. And namaste.
Folks, let me tell you, that's easy for Jacoby to say because Jacoby lives in paradise.
That is not, I mean, okay, a little, okay, so I will, that does help. That does help. That helps. But it's not, I mean, you can, you know, the funny thing is I thought about that just today when I was meditating. Everything is perspective. You can find beauty in the choice of perspective is where beauty lies. You know what I mean? Like think of like our ancestors being slaves, but their perspectives got them through to continue to live and find beauty in life somehow. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're
so
right.
There's always beauty somewhere. Yeah.
You're right. Let me put it to you this way though. Those of us that don't live in paradise, we can travel. We can travel. And if you want to travel, now would be a great time, apparently. I don't know if you've heard about this, Jacoby, but Malta, one of the Mediterranean islands, they're offering tourists who can go there and stay for more than 2 days, $120 a night.
Okay, wait a minute. Where is Malta again?
I believe it's in the Mediterranean. It's in UK somewhere. Don't make me look like I don't know.
And
my
is this for real? Because you know, is this for real though?
No, it's for real. No, you know what? Here, let me. I'm gonna give you.
How expensive is it? Because that's a great deal. I mean, I saw somewhere once before in Europe, and one of these European like Lithuania or some shit like that. They were offering, if you were to go there and buy a piece of property, you could get $10,000 or like $1,200 a month or something like that to live there. Just go buy a property, which was super cheap, and then you could get paid to live there. So, I mean, I find that interesting, especially, so I'm in Honolulu, Hawaii, and tourism is big here. And our hotels are only at 50% capacity. It's a lot worse as far as like before COVID, the streets were like free, the beaches were empty, it was nice. And now like all these tourists are back and it's kind of annoying. So it makes me think about how the locals might feel, because there's peace and solitude in being left the fuck alone by traveling white people.
Yeah, but if you live in a place where a majority of your income is generated by tourist traps, then you might say, listen, $120 a day is nothing compared to the millions we're going to make.
Yeah, but you know, that's a governmental perspective, I suppose, because the economy will survive without tourism. They always do. I would survive. Hawaii would survive, or you know, Malta would survive if no one ever goes there again. But this is, to me, you know, begging for people to come visit is a concept financially of difference between survive and thrive, and the difference between just living and greed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
But you know what? Speaking of traveling abroad, unfortunately, on the other side of things, there's also India. If I'm not mistaken, let me just double check to make sure I'm giving the right facts here. It was recently stated that, I guess on Friday, their COVID-19 cases hit over 401,000 new cases in a day. Like it's bad out there, and they were saying that that President Biden is trying to go ahead and offer them some aid, because of course not only do they not have the money, but they don't have a lot of the technology able to, I guess, handle a lot of the vaccines either. But they're hurting out there, man. So
yeah, that sucks. That sucks. You know, it sucks for one thing that I'm disappointed in the world in so many ways, but I'm disappointed in Biden. It sucks to me that we have so many personal issues going on, and I understand, you know, that we're put here to care about each other, right? But like India has one of the richest countries in the world, and they have enough money and billionaires that if they cared about their people, they could take care of them. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't care about everybody just because someone else isn't choosing to. But it's disappointing to me that we keep doing this kind of thing. And I believe you saw that show on that segment on the Breakfast Club. I forget his name, but Charlamagne interviewed this guy. It was just the past couple of weeks. And he was just like, they're doing all this stuff for Asian Americans in India now. And Black people have been suffering for hundreds of years and they still haven't done anything. And it's just really disappointing that they're not taking care of home first. But disappointing, but not surprising, because they've never acted like they cared about us for the most part.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's disappointing to me as well that we keep falling for this shit. But then again, it was the lesser of two evils, him or Trump, you know.
Jacoby, at the end of the day, if you were surprised about this, then you haven't been paying attention. That's your own fault.
Right.
I don't know what else to call it. I'm perfectly honest with you.
I agree.
But you know what? Let's go ahead and shift gears. We're gonna go ahead and touch on a couple of honorable mentions.
Oh,
And there are two I want to touch on, two specifically. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the video for the first one. Before I hit play, let me give you guys a little context on this. This is a black judge, Judge Dawson, out of Ohio, I believe.
Out of where? Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he is doing something amazing, and I am here for it. But you know what? I'm gonna let you guys watch and judge for yourself.
You were incarcerated?
Yes, I was in the halfway house.
How long were you incarcerated?
4 years.
And you got out when?
January 6th.
All right. So basically, what I'm gonna do, Mr. King, for you, you entered a plea of no contest, basically saying you would take responsibility because you didn't know what was going on. But what I'm gonna do is find you not guilty. Not saying that you didn't do anything wrong, but my decision is based on what you told me and based on the fact that you just got out. I want to give you a fresh start. So just be careful because you see how easy the legal system is to get caught up in, right?
Yes, sir.
So to be not guilty, you're free to go. You don't owe us anything. Just be careful. Be blessed.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
I know the only people who I think would be upset about what I'm about to say are racist people. But I really feel like because we know the history and the systemic issues of our country, and to be fair and to really have a system judicially or whatever that is fair to the individual, only you should, like, if you black, your judges should be black. If you white, your judges should be white. If you Asian, the people who are judging you and giving you your judgments and your sentences should be that reflects you, to like truly have fair compassion in the situation. You know what I mean? But of course, that's just how I think. Not everybody will agree with me.
Hold on. But think about it. The judge that took care of who was that guy that raped that young lady? The college student, the swimmer.
I don't remember, but I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
Well, his judge was white, and he let him go because he didn't want to ruin that kid's life, his future. He's a good kid, and he just made a mistake raping someone's daughter.
Right. And that's a white people problem. That white person did some shit to some people, and our white person has to judge him. Right. But you know what I mean? And they're like, I think that if we were to do something like what I just suggested, and then individually dealt with our own races, and then started to acknowledge how certain other things are unfair, then we could dismantle that. Like how you shouldn't be too lenient on him because what he did was a serious crime. And the people who have it, like, you know, those people that were in that situation should argue that. You know what I mean? If it was too lenient, well, this is not, well, no, you're being too lenient on him. What he did was serious. He destroyed these women. He this, that. Then you fight your case even harder. You know what I mean? But just to be like thrown the book when you weren't given a chance is the other spectrum of that. You know what I mean? Too hard, too lenient. And you just have to deal with those variations. But I think if we separated the racist thing, the racial parts, and like black judges dealt with the black kids, Caucasian judges dealt with the Caucasian, just people, not even children, I think it might make people pay attention to really right and wrong and good and bad, and not just you're black and I just think that you're trouble.
I'm not necessarily sure I absolutely agree with that, but I will agree with your ability to have your opinions on that one.
Okay.
Hey, and the next honorable mention goes out to Jaden Smith. And I know you said earlier we were talking, you said you knew more about this. So Jaden Smith had a food truck initiative called I Love You. And what he would do is he would go around with these food trucks, providing vegan, healthy meals to the homeless on Skid Row for absolutely free.
Yeah,
he's been doing that for about 2 years now, and apparently he decided to kick it up a notch, which is dope. He's going to open up a restaurant that is going to do the same thing, kind of. He's going to offer free, healthy food to those that are homeless on Skid Row. But if you have the money and you could afford it, you are going to pay for you're going to pay more for your meal. You're going to pay for yours and most likely the person behind you meal.
That's what it said?
That's what it said. Is he's going to charge people that can afford it, people that have the means.
Well, how is he going to know that? That's interesting.
I don't know how he's going to
know his system to dictate who can afford it and who can't.
I mean, but with that same logic, how are you going to dictate who can afford it?
But you know, I think that just would leave it based because it's probably a nonprofit restaurant for sure. And with the way you said that, I think that it would probably be like up to the individual. If I go there because I know that the food is good, or if I feel like being nice and somebody want to do a good thing, or if a celebrity want to go get some kind of like, you know, or some influencer want to go get some, you know, attention or some good media, you go show up there with the camera crew or your camera crew from social media. You go in and you buy some food and you pay for 100 meals or 2 meals, and it makes you look good. You know what I mean? So it gives the space for donations. It gives the space for charity and clout.
Well, regardless of those shitty ass celebrities, I still listen. We got a couple of them. You got those guys that'll go on social media and record themselves giving meals and shoes and stuff to homeless people just to record it. But if you want to do something good, you don't need people to watch you, and you don't need to do it for likes. Just do it.
Well, you know what? I completely 150% agree with you. But then I see another end of the spectrum where I have this platform. Let me show what good deed that I'm doing to motivate someone else to do the good deed. So I guess it would be, you know, you can sense the energy, and the viewer can sense the energy on the video of, damn, that's inspiring. I want to do that too. Or this motherfucker doing this shit just because he wants us to see him do this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's really up to the person and their feelings and their altruism, you know, the altruistic thoughts. But at the end of the day, you're like, I just kind of feel like Jaden Smith is putting his money where his mouth is. You know, he spoke about the food trucks, and it got done. And even if he did it for clout at that point, enough people got fed to where it was still a good deed.
Right. You know, too, it makes me just think about Will and Jada as parents, because they raised this really great human being who wants to help other human beings. And I think that's awesome. You know what I mean?
As much as the bullshit in the mid they've been getting as of recently, you can't get mad because all their kids seem to be pretty
well-rounded and decent human beings, and they care about the world and shit. You know what I mean?
We're gonna talk about some of these other shitty ass celebrity goddamn children, but
Willow's great too. You know, even like the Red Table Talk or Jaden's water launch and him like trying to help Flint. They're just awesome kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're dope. And we're gonna go ahead and end the show there. But just like last week, I am going to give Jacoby an opportunity. Do you want to end it here? Or would you like to watch one last video and give your opinion?
I'll let you slide it in one more time. Go ahead. Hurry up before it's too late.
Oh my God, I'm done with you.
What? Okay, so what did she say?
She said, fuck your shit. Fuck your $300. That's how much my phone cost. Then another girl said, what's your number? Let me call it. And she's like, oh, you think I'm playing with you? And started fucking some more shit up. So just to give context from what I understand, she apparently went to a party and someone stole her phone. So she decided to Hulk out, rip a TV off of the wall, rip the cords out of the wall, and throw it. She over her head lifted it and threw it across the room.
Oh, you know what?
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna let you. Here's my opinion on this whole thing. You couldn't take care of your own shit because you didn't keep your eye on your phone well enough for somebody not to steal it. But you're mad and you're gonna fuck up my shit. Had that been my house, you'd have left the house with a lost phone and a few lost teeth because I would have uppercut her ass. Though I would have been worried the way she pulled that TV off the damn wall and threw it. I think it would have been a pretty even fight at that point. I feel like I would have been worried there for a minute.
It's a tough one because I'm trying to analyze the whole situation, right? And I'm just like, okay, I'm at a party, someone stole my phone. And there are people trying to pretend to help me find the phone, and we can't find the phone. But the phone has to be here because I just had the motherfucker not too long ago. So, or maybe, hopefully she did, and she know it was in there somewhere. Because and just like, to flip out like that because I know one of you motherfuckers got my phone. Where's my motherfucking phone? And then for like no one to do anything or no one to admit to it or give it up. But then that's a tough one there too. Because if you stole the phone, now you don't want to give the phone back and admit to being a conniving ass thief. So you're torn. So then I make the decision between, am I just gonna be cool and seem like I'm a punk about this and I know somebody got this phone and everybody won't empty their pockets, or do I just snap? And we never know someone's mental health that day.
Here is
and
my
she
thing, though.
snapped. And I will say, rightfully so. I cannot say that I might not, under certain influences and states of mind, have behaved that goddamn way.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm fine with her snapping. Granted, I wouldn't have got mad. It's a phone. Fuck it. I got insurance. But here is my issue with her getting mad.
That ain't the point.
Here, hold on. Here exactly. My point isn't it. The point isn't her getting mad. The point is her getting mad and fucking up somebody else's shit. What if the person that stole the phone done left 30 minutes ago? Now you fucking up. I invited you. You go fuck up my house because somebody stole your shit and left? The fuck? I still gotta live here. That's my TV. Bitch, I'm broke too. Like I used my stimulus to buy that. That shit is gone. How the fuck I'm gonna replace that TV? Insurance ain't gonna replace my TV. It's gonna replace your goddamn phone if you have it.
I mean, I kind of understand. That's a hard one. That's a hood rat
for me.
That's a hood rat debacle for me right there because I don't know. I mean, I understand her anger. I don't think I would have behaved that way.
Stopped what I was doing, jumped over the couch, and Superman slapped her. I'd have beat the hell out of her. Don't fuck my shit up because you mad. You want to go out and break all the car windows outside? By all means, as long as mine ain't out there, knock yourself out. But bitch, don't break my shit because your shit got stolen. Now two of us got to be without shit. This is exactly why black people can't have nice things.
Right, it's true.
Exactly.
It's true. It's why we can't have nice things. Behaving that way is why we get red zone and white people don't want us in their neighborhoods.
Exactly. Hey, you're in the party. I wasn't invited. Can you not see why? Bitch, the last time you was at my house, you broke 3 TVs and, blocked my toilet with your giant turd. Like, no, you can't come over to my house no more. No.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I get it. I completely get it.
But we're gonna go ahead and end it there. Thank you for joining us in Complicated Discord. Join us again next week. We're still working on the schedule a little bit, but we will be squared away. Do me a favor, if you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, and follow. And please, please, please come check us out on our other pages. Check out Mr. Jacoby Jones at That Jacoby Jones, Queer and the Queen, and the Jacoby Jones Show on YouTube. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one. We'll holla.